It's like I think there's a wild man in everybody, you know. It's like all I am is a conductor of mayhem. I like to see people get...
The Prince of Darkness doesn't like weird songs. 5 decades of metal dominance have given Ozzy Osbourne not only a legacy of groundbreaking music but also a reputation for being brutally honest about his contemporaries. For example, they put every gig I do behind the bitching and reality TV antics. Lies a musician with unbending standards and certain bands who've allegedly earned his legendary wrath through backstage fights and public callouts. Australia's fierce defense of metal's authenticity can be seen in the 6 bands that are said to have been on Ozzy's blacklist. These bands are 6 Limp Bizkit metal purists versus new metal upstarts. Few conflicts better show the musical divide that allegedly led Ozzy Osbourne to dislike Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit. The late 90s rap-rock phenomenon represents everything the Prince of Darkness reportedly finds wrong with real heavy metal. At Limp Bizkit Ozzfest 1998, tensions allegedly broke out backstage when Limp Bizkit's over-the-top demands and attitude rubbed off on the festival's namesake. People close to Ozzy's group say they heard him say, "What the bloody hell is this crap? They're jumping around like monkeys, but where's the music?" In an interview with Metal Hammer in 2001, Durst said that the comment made a gap between them that would never heal. Ozzy is said to have not stopped these new bands. They think that yelling and wearing a backwards cap makes them metal. That's not metal, that's just noise. Even though he didn't say which band he was talking about, people in the business knew exactly what he meant. The sound differences couldn't be more clear. Both with Black Sabbath and on his own. Ozzy's music focuses on strong singing, tricky guitar work and dark songs. Ozzy reportedly thought that Limp Bizkit's aggressive mix of rap sampling and simple guitar riffs was everything that was wrong with modern heavy music. When the band played at Ozzfest, witnesses say Ozzy watched from the sidestage with a look of disdain. Sharon Osbourne, who was always protective of Ozzy's legacy, allegedly tried to make the band less important in future festival lineups. Music journalist Dave Everly says that Durst allegedly said that Ozzy was past his prime in a radio interview, which turned the feud into something else. Ozzy heard about it and was so mad that he allegedly told his team that Durst wouldn't understand real metal if it bit him on the red cap. Even decades later, in a 2019 interview, Ozzy was asked about the nu metal era and supposedly sighed and said, "Some movements in music should stay buried where they belong." Metal fans picked up on the hidden metaphor right away. 5 Bon Jovi, the glam metal explosion of the 1980s made superstars out of no one more than New Jersey's Bon Jovi. While fans all over the world loved their stadium anthems, Ozzy Osbourne reportedly saw them as everything wrong with commercial rock. This wasn't just about music, it was about authenticity in a time that Osbourne said was becoming more fake during the height of hairspray metal. Ozzy was dealing with his own problems while making important albums like The Ultimate Sin and No Rest for the Wicked. At the same time, Bon Jovi ruled MTV with their polished looks and radio-friendly hits. According to longtime Ozzy guitarist Jake E. Lee, the Prince of Darkness yelled, "They're bloody dentists with guitars, it's all smiles and pretty faces, where's the darkness? Where's the truth?" At the 1987 Moscow Music Peace Festival, things apparently got worse. Backstage sources say Ozzy was annoyed by John Bon Jovi's clean stage presentation and well-choreographed performance, and he was heard saying, "This isn't rock and roll, it's a bloody West End musical." When both bands went on a German TV show later that year, crews noticed that Ozzy purposely avoided interacting with the Bon Jovi camp. Musically, there was a huge difference. Ozzy were moving away from Black Sabbath's heavy, doom-laden style. Max Norman, a producer who worked with both acts, says that Bon Jovi made easy-to-understand pop metal that was meant to appeal to a wide audience. Ozzy thought that rock music should push people, not calm them down. He was said to have seen Bon Jovi as musical comfort food that was nice, but ultimately empty. For example, in the world of Mötley Crüe, in terms of 1980s metal excess, Osbourne's claimed dislike for Mötley Crüe, a band whose wild behavior used to be on par with his own, may be the most ironic rivalry. This relationship is especially complicated because Ozzy and the Crüe were on the same notorious 1984 tour, which is known for its outlandish behavior and drug use. During the tour, Ozzy would beat us, and then we would beat him. This happened over and over again, and according to Crüe bassist Nicky Sixx's autobiography, the tour was what started the fights. The outrageous behavior of the boys was planned by Ozzy, who is said to have told his road manager, "These lads are playing at being bad boys. I don't play at it, I bloody live it." It was said that Ozzy was angry about the difference between real darkness and fake rebellion. The famous ant snorting incident, in which Ozzy allegedly challenged Six by snorting a line of ants, wasn't the friendly competition that was shown in the dirt, but rather Ozzy's way of saying, "You're not on my level." Gene Kirkland, a tour photographer, says he heard Ozzy say behind closed doors, "These California boys think they invented madness. I was getting banned from whole countries while they were still in diapers." Mötley Crüe's sound moved toward glam metal with Theater of Pain and Girls Girls Girls, which made the gap bigger between the bands. As an engineer who worked on both Ozzy's The Ultimate Sin and Crüe's Theater of Pain, Ozzy is said to have been furious when he heard one track from the Theater of Pain. He reportedly threw the tape across the room, saying that the songs had gone from being somewhat dangerous to bloody. Kiss Ridiculous No. 3 Kiss, behind the makeup and fireworks of rock's most theatrical band, is said to be a feud that's as hot as Gene Simmons' fire-breathing stunts. The fact that Ozzy Osbourne is said to dislike Kiss is because of his direct, unfiltered approach to heavy metal and what he sees as style over content. This disagreement has been going on for over 40 years. According to rock journalist Martin Popoff, the problem started during Black Sabbath's tours in the mid-1970s, when Kiss's elaborate stage shows were making them more popular. An Australian fan reportedly said, "They're turning rock and roll into a bloody circus with all that makeup and platform boots, it's like watching clowns with guitars." This feeling seems to have gotten worse as Kiss's popularity grew. While Sabbath had problems with internal conflicts, the personal rivalry between Ozzy and Gene Simmons grew. In the early 1980s, former Ozzy tour manager Bobby Thompson says that Simmons approached Ozzy at a record label event and gave him business advice, telling him, "You should be marketing yourself better." Ozzy is said to have replied, "Mate, I'm selling music, not bloody action figures." This alleged conversation showed how different they were about being a rock star. Musically, the difference couldn't be bigger. Kiss built their fame on catchy songs and characters that were bigger than life. When Ozzy worked with Sabbath and solo, the music got darker and more complicated. Max Norman, who produced Ozzy's early solo albums, says, Ozzy is said to have listened to a Kiss album and said, "There's not one real emotion in the whole bloody thing. It's all show no soul." Number 2, Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses reportedly turned what started out as a promising mentor relationship when they opened for Ozzy's No Rest for the Wicked tour in 1988 into one of rock's most bitter feuds, according to Ozzy's former guitarist Jake E. Lee. Tensions rose almost immediately, as Axl was always late, causing constant drama. Ozzy allegedly told me, "They're not dangerous, they're just bloody inconvenient." Rose allegedly kept the crowd waiting for almost 2 hours at a show in Philadelphia. Tour manager Tim Collins says Ozzy erupted backstage. He reportedly stormed into their dressing room and yelled that they disrespected him, the fans, and rock itself. The band was allegedly kicked off the tour the next day as Jenner's fame grew. In a 1992 interview with Rolling Stone, Ozzy is said to have said, "Some of these new bands start out real, then get famous and become exactly what they claim to hate." This shows how critical Ozzy became of what he saw as manufactured rebellion. Industry insiders knew this was a reference to Rose. The fight got worse when Slash briefly joined Ozzy's band in 1995 after Jenner's original lineup broke up. As drummer Randy Castillo remembers, Ozzy would allegedly ask Slash about Axl every night and then laugh at the answers. He once allegedly said, "I've been called crazy my whole life, but that guy makes me look like the bloody Pope." Even when Jenner got back together years later, sources say Ozzy wasn't pleased. He is said to have told friends, "Reunions are for bands that run out of ideas and need the money. I never stopped working long enough to need a comeback." Judas is one. The most explosive fight in Ozzy's famous career is said to be between fellow British metal pioneers Judas Priest and Priest. Judas Priest broke the law, right? Eddie Trunk, a rock historian, says that the rivalry was caused by decades of personal deception in the competition and the fight for heavy metal supremacy. As Judas Priest's popularity rose at the same time as Black Sabbath's in the late 1970s, tensions began to rise. Ozzy was said to think that Rob Halford was trying to steal his throne, and he is said to have told his close friends and family, "They waited until I was down to step over me." When Priest hired guitarist KK Downing, who Ozzy was said to have considered for his solo band, the rivalry got worse. Former Aussie manager Don Arden says Ozzy was so angry about what he saw as betrayal that he smashed a hotel room TV when he heard the news and yelled that they were taking his players. According to guitarist Phil, the alleged hatred was solidified by something that happened backstage at the Monsters of Rock event in 1986. Sources say how Alfred made rude comments about Ozzy's singing skills while they were all listening. He allegedly had to be physically restrained because he was yelling, "I invented the music you're playing, you leather-clad copycat." The rivalry lasted for decades, with both bands reportedly refusing to share festival bills. In recent years, when asked about Priest's induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Ozzy reportedly laughed and said, "Awards mean nothing. I've been connecting with real metal fans since before they knew what leather pants were." From new metal pretenders to British metal rivals, Ozzy's musical feuds say as much about the Prince of Darkness as they do about his alleged enemies. His to real heavy metal has made enemies but also solidified his reputation as the genre's most honest representative. If you enjoyed this Thesterbeats video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more incredible stories. Want to say in who we cover next? Join our membership program through the link in the description for exclusive perks. Your support means everything to us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.